be part. Unless I keep you too long, pray for Reverend Epps, my good friend. He actually had a slip and fall and broke his femur bone. So we're praying for him. You know, that's my good friend. We don't talk all the time, but he called me Renandez. Thank God for him. Pray for my pastor. He's doing super good. He's to buy 4 units, 10 bedrooms in each unit, $2 million. He's going to pay cash. And I asked him, could he buy 5 and give 1 away? And then he laughed again. Pray for him. He's actually, if you didn't know, he's resigning from being the state president. But you'll hear about it in the next meeting. He's embarking on going on television. He said for the rest of his life, you're going to be on TV. He bought a TV station. Cash. So we pray for him. He's of age. Just pray for him. He said he ain't sick, but he go to the doctor every day. Pray for our president and pastor. If you have your Bibles, we read that very familiar passage of scripture we read before. In the words I quoted, Moses said to the people while they were on the mountain, Deuteronomy. We're still there, chapter 1, verse 6. The book of the Pentateuch, the rudiments. I learned that in the seminary. I didn't graduate, but I got that part. Brother Strong was our teacher, and Chambers and Decadensis was our teacher. We were there with them in 1980. And it reads, you've been on the mountaintop too long. It's time to move. You've been on the mountaintop too long. It's time to move. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. My brothers and sisters, for the last 3 Sundays, we have been talking about the essence of the story was you need to make a move. And we discovered that for the example that's in the Bible, it's known by the brother by the name of Pastor Moses. You remember Moses? Moses, that he had a stuttering problem, and every time he talked, he was stuttering. When God called him to be the leader of this great nation, he muscled up a word to tell God that he couldn't talk clearly because he stuttered. Then God told him, asked him, does his brother Aaron love him? Certainly the answer was yes. And then he said, but I'll tell you how we're going to do it. I'll speak to you, and then you can stutter to your brother. Because God had already made up his mind, in spite of all of our imperfections, and all of us here have some imperfections, that his word is going to get out, whether he has to stutter it or not. And then God always has a way of making it plain, simple, where the Bible says even a fool should not err. God never talks to us in languages we don't understand. God doesn't prick our hearts in ways that we don't know is God. And even though sometimes, Brother Ronnie, we say something told me, and if we be truthful about it, Rachel will learn that God is the bottom of your barrel where the Holy Ghost lives in you. That Holy Spirit gets the message and send it up to your heart. And it'll keep on going up vertically. And it'll end up in your brain, and you'll discover that it's God speaking to you. And what it was in this particular chapter
term was that they had post-traumatic stress disorder. And they had post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, was because all they knew was this tragedy, one after another. And because when you have been exposed, you end up adapting and learning behavior. That behavior goes to the processes of how you look at people and how you process the way you think. So every time God would speak, it would not come out in a positive way.
And believe God that it would come through the processes of going through their mind. And while we're going through their mind, Brother Fisher, it would always come up with doubt. Because all they had seen was death, damnation, and doom from the childbirth up into the very scene that we're in today. So therefore, because of their unbelief, and I'm going to give them credit because of their lack of belief, and because of their exposure, we discovered that they had a lot of doubt. Like some of us here, if I can bring it home, a lot of us have been exposed to some very, very, very dark days in our lives. Some more than not have experienced seeing tragedy or a sick mother, a sick father, a dying child, or either being abandoned, being left behind, being in a place called a foster home, where there's a mother or a father or a mother and father that simply is supposed to foster or look like, imitate that which is not real, but say it's real, because we discovered that people being connected to people make them balance. That you need that testosterone and you need the estrogen. Am I right? Did I say it right this time? You got to have a balance of that. You got to have that balance in your life to know how to think. So therefore, they had a lack of training, if you please, because God was so upset with Israel because Israel didn't believe what God said. So God allowed them to be exposed. But then God also, even in that exposure, Paula, he did rain, he did send a cloud, he brought a meal, he gave a manna, just for the time being, just because they were out in the wilderness. Matter of fact, they had so much doubt that while they were in the wilderness, that the Bible said that when the lunch got there a little late, and the fights got kind of hard, that they said, we'd rather go back home and live with Pharaoh. And why would God bring us out here in the wilderness to die? So therefore, their vision, they had a distorted optical illusion. They did not see God in love and kindness. They couldn't see God as being a loving, caring, caressing God, because they had been exposed. So God allowed them to get out of the house and touch the heart of Pharaoh just for a little while. The Bible said that Pharaoh let them go that night. They packed up hurriedly, got the cattle, the horses, livestock, woke up the kids at midnight, and they said it's time to travel. We're finally going to be able to leave and be on our way to go to a place that's flowing with milk and honey. And I'm quite sure, if you let me use your spiritual imagination, that really they could not even fathom or either put it in their mind what flowing milk and honey looked like. Because all they saw was people drowning in the Red Sea. All they heard of was yelling and screaming and howling after fights and battles had gone on. So therefore, this next generation had experienced post-traumatic stress disorder, and they were taking that same disorder, that trauma, and transferring it over to a God. Because you do know the way you live in the flesh is how you process in the spirit. If everything in your life has been damned and down, and you've been talked down, and you've been treated down, and you've been ostracized, there is some part of your mind that penetrates, and it takes a phototype, it takes a photo picture, it takes a photograph, and it meshes in your brain, and it says, God can't be that good because they talk about the God of Jehovah, and God will provide, but all I saw was blood running down in the Red Sea. So therefore, when it was time to move, they came out of the house and began to move toward this place called the Promised Land. It took them 50 days for them to get from Egypt to Mount Sinai, when really actually it should have only took them 3 days. And the reason why it took them longer than what God had put on his GPS, it was because they were always complaining about God, complaining about old folks says this, that, and the other. Isn't it strange when God is trying to get us to a place of wealth, health, and good living, that because of our own complaining and selfishness, and they didn't know how to get out of Egypt by themselves. They didn't know how to run Pharaoh out of town. They didn't know how to do it, but when God does something and God leads you, you ought to obey. Am I right? But because they kept complaining, am I talking to anybody here that has a spirit of complaining sometimes? You complain, you ask God, you want direction, you want God to tell you everything, but I stop to tell you, God told you every battle you were going to have to fight. If God told you every opposition you were going to have, if God told you every tear that you were going to shed, if God had told you that the things that you are going through right now, He told you that 30 years ago you would not have believed God and you would have lost your faith. So therefore they slowed down the journey because they complained. They slowed down the journey because of the fact that they really didn't know how to handle this situation. So therefore, they moved there from there. It takes them 2 months to get where it should have took them 50 days and 3 days. And then 14 months they left out of Egypt. And it was somewhat said from my teacher that it might have been like January through December. And it took them a whole year to get there. When it also, at that point, it should have took them 14 months. But because there's an addition to that, if you think about it, there's 10 more months added to it because you're still mumbling and complaining. And isn't it strange, if you didn't know, now you know, that the more you complain, the slower things go. Just because you voice your opinion, just because you want to add this to that and the other, if you just follow line and you follow the commander-in-chief, if you follow leadership, if you follow the pastoralship, because God has given the leaders the vision, all we have to learn how to do is follow. You may say that to fluff my feather. No, I'm not, because when my pastor, Dr. J. Benjamin Hartley, asked me to do something, I always do it because I knew how to follow leadership. Every pastor needs a pastor. Say amen. Amen. Every person needs a person. And the person you follow, you ought to have enough belief in that person to be able to know in your minds there they won't lead you wrong. But if I just follow this individual, because first of all, you don't have the vision. And he said, I'll give you pastors according to my own heart that shall lead you. Help me somebody. I'll give you pastors. You can't pick a pastor. You can't bowl a pastor. You can't make a pastor. But what you have to do, you have to make sure that when you are following somebody, you ought to have enough belief in whom you follow. So God said, I'm going to be your leader. I'm going to lead you through a Red Sea. I'm going to bring you across the Jordan River. Y'all help me somebody here. That I am going to make way for you, that when waves come in, when the wind begin to blow, if you don't believe me, talk to me. Look what happened. When they went across the Red Sea, what happened? The Bible said that they walked across on dry land. Help me somebody. But then when Pharaoh went across, he got stuck in the mud. What do you mean by that? It's just that God
always makes provision for his children. God, no matter how empty the account looks, no matter how low the battery may seem, no matter how flat the tire, stop to tell you, God always have a AAA system. God always have. I called AAA the other day when I had to get a jump on my other car, and the first thing the lady said to me was that, "Are you parked in the same place?" Help me somebody here. And that let me know she was concerned not about the accident, not about the battery, but she wanted to make sure that I was in the same place. And I think that fit right there. E.K. Benny said, I think it fit right there. That when God saw that they were going to have many battles, they were going to have many oppositions. Am I talking to somebody? I think, Fred, I'll let you know that the first thing God always says, are you in a good place? Are you safe? Do you feel secure? Do you feel the warmth? Do you feel my love? Do you feel my joy? I want you to know that whenever there is an occurrence that happened in your life, but what he don't want us to do, somebody say, don't do this.
Don't do this.
What he doesn't want us to do, I'm almost through, y'all. What he don't want us to do is stay in Kadesh Barnea. He doesn't want us to get to the place of complacency. He don't want us to get to a place where we actually are sitting around and not doing nothing. Say amen. God, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. You find yourself always sitting around all by yourself, or you got your little crew you sit around, I ain't crazy, and you talk about everything that gone wrong, went wrong, and then some people, like I got a family member, they don't never think about the good part, they always talk about the bad part. I tell them I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But what about the rain? What about the tire? What about the car? Right now, we don't have no rain problem. Right now, we don't have a tire problem. But we have to look at if God told us that our final destination is going to be in Canaan land, that we need to be about our Father's business. And from our day right there, it would take 11 days for them to get there. But it took them all that time, 380 years. It took all that time for them to get there, 40 years rather, to get there, because they kept stopping, they kept complaining, they kept stopping, they kept complaining, they kept stopping, they kept complaining. It's almost like a woman going to pick out her wedding gown and she can't make up her choice. You have a date picked, can y'all walk with me? You have a time picked, you have your invitations already sent out, you already have your guest list, you already had all his money in your pocket and all of your mama's money in your pocket. You done made reservations, but if you don't get that dress picked, tell me somebody here, you may have the date, but you won't be ready to go. Say amen. You won't be ready to go because you spent all your time trying this on and trying that on, and that's what some people, my wife, she gets up on Wednesday, getting ready for church on Sunday, clothes stacked all around the room, shoes all down the hallway, and I say, what you doing? She said, I'm getting ready for Sunday. I said, you're getting ready for Sunday on Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and then when Sunday gets here, she's exhausted. And not only exhausted, them red shoes don't look red no more. Them white shoes, help me somebody, because we spend all of our time trying to make a decision about things that you don't have to make a decision about. What you do, how do you get dressed? Well, how do you get dressed, Reverend Graham? Well, it depends on how I feel. Today I felt like a turtleneck. I felt like I was an African in America. Amen. I felt like black and white socks. Or I put on gray socks. I felt like I had to put all that on. I didn't spend all my time looking upon all the garments, but what I did, I kept saying, what does the weather feel like outside? What does my feet feel like? What is my body saying? So therefore, I got dressed based upon what I thought would be comfortable for the ride. But yesterday, I was going to put on that real nice suit that boy gave me, that Georgia Monte. I was going to put that one on, and I was going to put on them fancy crocodiles. This is the first Sunday. I was going to put on that black and white shadow pinstripe suit that mother got me from the lady at the mortuary. I was going to put that on, and I was going to walk in and walk like a bee and stink like it was Muhammad Ali. But when I woke up this morning, help me somebody. But when I got up this morning at 3 o'clock, it was cold outside. And I said, well, if I put that on, I might be cute, but I'll be a little cold. If I put them shoes on, I might be a little cute, but my feet go hurt. Help me somebody here. And I said, well, so what I need to do is dress for the weather. Y'all help me somebody here. So if you dress for the occasion, and more pitfalls, no more rainfalls, no more clouds, no more pillars, no more Red Seas, no more Jordan. All we have to do is prepare to go into the race. But because people are people, they decided that they're going to keep on complaining. And what about this and what about that? One thing about it, what I like about me, that I've had so many troubles in my life. When the police got behind me this morning, when I bust at you, all I did was watch him in the rearview mirror. When I got on the freeway, he got on behind me, and then there was an accident ahead of me. A truck had went over there. I didn't say thank God, but I said I'm gone, God. What I'm saying is that I'm not going to wait and start weaving and wobbling, so he will stop me. I just kept on going straight. Only thing I said now, since I know I'm halfway in trouble, I might as well just go straight. I might as well go straight. So that's what happens when you on your way. Help me somebody. When you on your way to the promised land, I feel like preaching. When you have got the promise in your hand that I'm going to the promised land, just make sure that when you get to a pitfall in life, preach for him, that make sure when you fall into a ditch sometime, don't stop going on your way. Don't you get upset when the tire pops. That's why you have a spare tire. That when the gas gets low, that's when you have a reserve tank. That when everything around you begin to fail and fall, and you feel fragile, that when job says they don't want you no more. Just this week I got 5 calls and they offered me more money and less hours and further distance and said I could work 3 days a week, help me somebody, and not 5 days a week. But they that wait upon the Lord, he shall renew their strength. They'll mount upon wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. But the reason why you're not getting what you're supposed to get, you're stuck on the mountaintop too long. You're not giving God a chance. Feel like preaching, you're not giving God a chance to open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. You're not giving God a chance. You got to be, you have to have that what I call living in survival instinct. You got to be able to take a chance. You take a chance. You say, well, I don't take chances. Well, when you walk by faith, that is a chance. Help me somebody. When you walk by faith, is a chance. When you trust God, that is a chance. Because God will time leads you around the mountain. Sometimes God will lead you through the mountain. But I think I'll tell you, God will let you get past the mountain. I sure wish I had somebody here. Have you ever been stuck somewhere and you thought you wasn't going to make it? Have you ever been down and you thought you wasn't coming back up? Have you ever had a pitfall and you thought you wasn't going to get out? But if I had time, I called Joseph. I called Joseph because Joseph said that my brother sold me to the Israelites. And the Israelites took me into Egypt land. Somebody say, yes, Lord. And then I found myself being accused of rape. They put me down in a pit. I found myself down in a pit. I got down in the dungeon. Got down there with the baker and the butler. Somebody say, yeah. And I got down there. And I didn't know how I'm going to get out. And let me tell you one thing is, when he told one man, you go live and you go die. One day you're going back to your job. And bigger man, you go be killed. But I tell you what I want you to do for me. He said, what do you want me to do? He said, when you go to the king, I want you to tell the king I want to talk to him. But you know people are funny. We told the king that he didn't even tell the king. He forgot about him. Because that's what people do. When they get free, they'll forget about you. Somebody say yes. Have you ever been forgotten about? And you go there, tell him I want to see him. But I stopped to tell you that he went from the pit and he went all the way to the palace. And the reason why he went to the palace is because the Bible said, and I showed when Brother Cole was here, he said, tell me what the Bible said. The Bible said, and God was with him. Y'all better help me somebody. Hit me one time right there. I said, God was with him. And I think I ought to tell you, God is with you. He's more than the world against you. People may not like you, but just keep on going. I don't know how you feel about it. Stop to tell you, it may get cold and it may get dark. But I know the Lord
pulled up. And I was determined to get to the house of God. Somebody stayed home because they stuck on the mountain. Somebody got their earplugs in because they stuck on the mountain. Some people are stubborn because they stuck on the mountain. Some people have lost their faith because they stuck on the mountain. Some people can't get nothing done because they doubters on the mountain. But I started to tell you, if God told you that you could go to the mountain, and then when you leave from the mountain, you'll be in the promised land. There's a whole lot of risk taking, but you gotta stand on the word. Somebody say, yeah, I may not be able to see it, but I still trust God. It's like my mother, she used to make a cake. She'd walk in the house and she would make one of them old pound cakes. She had all the butter and the eggs, and I didn't know that the egg had to stay out all night long. And I came in there, I said, Mama, what you doing? She said, I'm making a cake. I said, well, she said, don't worry about it. After a while I was watching Hobo Kelly and watching Bozo the Clown, and all of a sudden there's an aroma that came down the hallway and dropped off in my bedroom, and all of a sudden I said that butter came together, that egg came together, that flour came together. When I walked down that room, I kept on praying. I said, Lord, I hope it's a cake. I said, I hope it's a cake. And I got there and said, Mama, is it a cake? She said, faith come by eggs, faith come by butter, and faith come by sugar. She said, but one thing you got to remember, it got to go in the oven. So don't count.